Hello, everyone, and welcome to Six Figure Souls Doing Good and Making Money. This is the weekly podcast that highlights entrepreneurs that have designed businesses in alignment with who they are. This is a very special season 8 where I'm highlighting the members of our Soul Professional Society. Today, we have a very special guest, Meryl Hayton. She is a certified EFT professional out of New Jersey. Hi, Meryl. Thanks for coming today.
Hi, thanks for having me.
You are welcome. So I have followed your work for a number of years. You did a master class for a master community for us for over a year, I think, in our premium community, which I attended every possible one I could. You're also a personal friend, so I get some side work, and I think it is instrumental, that's the word, instrumental to my own success. So I do highly appreciate the work that you do. So thanks for being here. And I want to talk a little bit about your work and what you do.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I can't wait.
So first, tell us what EFT is for the people that are hearing it for the first time.
So EFT means emotional freedom techniques. And we are using our fingers to tap on Chinese energy meridian points, similar to acupuncture, but we're not using needles. And it is, there is a basic recipe, and we are tapping on the ends of the Chinese energy meridian points. And it's disrupting and dismantling stuck energy, so helping it to shift and move up and out. And awesome. You can use it for anything. You can use it to prepare yourself for something difficult. You can use it to get rid of pain. You can use it to get rid of, emotions connected to your past. You can heal from trauma. It is proven, scientifically proven, to heal PTSD and trauma. And it can quell like nervousness, anxiety, stress. I use it for root cause resolution in my practice.
What does that mean? Root cause resolution.
So I help my clients get to the root cause of their emotion, their
anxiety or
their anxiety, their stress, so that they completely have a different relationship with it. They have a different perspective about it. And they shift, from anxiety, stress, fear, doubt to hope, faith, trust, confidence, love.
Nice. Yeah. Does this require a lot of talking, like talk therapy?
Not really.
Okay.
I do want to know what's going on. And I would say I probably talk more with the client in the consultation than in our sessions, because, excuse me, I need to know what's going on, of course. And I want to know what their goals are. So when we meet in sessions, I say, okay, well, how do you feel about your goal today? And they say, well, I have a lot of fear about it, or I feel the resistance, or I don't know, I'm doubting myself. Okay, well, right. And we start there.
Okay.
And we just kind of follow the winding path, right? How are they feeling now? We reduce those intensities in the moment. And then we eventually connect it to where and how they learned they needed to doubt themselves. They needed to have fear. They needed to have this resistance, because we have all these things to protect ourselves. Right. But, or avoidance, right? And what we're doing is breaking the stress response so that we can rewire it to something that really does work for us and supports us better. But we use whatever we can, whatever we've learned, whatever we know, until a certain point when we're ready for something new. Then we become a seeker, right? And we seek out people who can help us to shift forward.
I like that. We become a seeker. I've never heard that, but that makes a lot of sense. So would it work with someone who is feeling, I'm thinking of like when I had very young kids, which my kids are older now, but there were times when I felt like I couldn't even take a breath. Like there was so much on my plate that I couldn't calm down. I was just, but I didn't know in that moment what I was searching for. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So do you help maybe people in that situation? They don't have to know
They don't have
That's
to know.
not working.
No, they don't have to know. They know that they're anxious and they know that they're stressed, and then they come to me and I help them break it down. All right, well, how do you feel in your health? How do you feel in your finances? How do you feel with your relationships, with your kids, with your family, right? And we break it all down, and then we go section by section.
Gotcha.
And
Gotcha.
usually, we start with the section that has the highest, most intense numbers. We use a number scale 0 to 10. So we work with the highest intensity. And when you lower that, it lowers all of the other categories. Like everything is like a domino effect.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Everything's connected,
Yes.
So, yeah.
We
So
call it
once
the rock in the funnel. Like what's blocking all of that other stuff
right,
from
right.
flowing.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So I don't know if you said it, but I want to say it for our listeners that EFT is also considered tapping. Some people
Yes.
know it as tapping.
Yes.
So tell us the story of how you started in tapping. Like, how did that bloom? Because I know you have a pretty diverse background.
Yeah. Well, in 2012, I became a yoga teacher, and that was the beginning of me really working in the wellness industry, where I was helping people to feel better in their bodies and their minds. But I wanted to learn how to theme my yoga classes because I loved my teachers who did. And in my second yoga teacher training was 2017, and I had my nail salon that I knew I was going to close within a year. And I was doing this second yoga teacher training, which was a year-long program. And I told her that I wanted to theme my classes. And then I started researching life coaching, energy healing, jobs, all sorts of stuff. And I found a mind body medicine practitioner. And then I found my first coach, Dr. Kim Duramo, and I took a program with her at Kripalu. And she did some EFT tapping. And I knew that I wanted her to really work with her as my first coach. And I followed everything that she did. And once I had my own aha moments and shifts with EFT, that's when I said, okay,
Yeah,
nails, having the
this
nail
is
salon was the
it.
first half of my life. This is the second half of my life. And I just immersed myself in every possible training, all the levels, certified in all the levels and accredited and all these trainings. And I'm in a few memberships and I'm in a few practice groups weekly. And I've just immersed myself in it. And I follow what the founder of EFT does, like how he practices and what he does is what I follow.
Are there more than one practice out there?
Yeah, he
That's
did not
important to know.
trademark. He
Okay.
didn't trademark original EFT. So there's thousands of people out there. I don't know if it's thousands, but thousands,
Right.
maybe, they all teach their own way. They all maybe tap the points a little bit differently or use their wrists, or they don't start at the top of the head. Like there's a few
I've
different
seen that. Yeah.
things. And but he also does a spiritual non-tapping form called optimal EFT, and I use both along with my intuition in my practice. So it's very powerful and things can shift very, very quickly.
Are you able to tell us more about how that works?
Yeah. So I usually use tapping in order to help bring in clarity,
Mhm.
focus, and help my clients feel more calm and grounded. And
Okay.
if their numbers are super high, it helps to bring the numbers down. Then we could go into a meditation. So a meditation is connecting to a loving moment and a higher power. And in this practice, we call her the unseen therapist, but it can really be any higher power you believe in. And I still guide people to reframe their thoughts or step into their situations that they want to change, like emotionally, energetically step in and then step out and be in the loving moment. And I kind of guide them through a meditation, and it's very powerful. I've been saying that it's kind of like Reiki on steroids. um, and then sometimes something comes up where we might have to go back to doing some tapping. And then we
Okay.
go back to a meditation. And we just kind of, like I said, follow the winding path. And eventually things stay, we're always looking for zeros. Um, on that number scale. So we're always testing back, and that's the most important thing. It's not like, so how do you feel today? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's not like that. It's like we are really doing work. And, oh, you're not at 0? Well, why aren't you at 0? What's keeping it at a 3? Oh, okay, you're, thinking about, this judgment that you got from somebody else. Okay, well then let's tap on that, and or maybe do a meditation on that, and right, and we just keep breaking things down and breaking things down and breaking things down till there's nothing left on a certain subject.
Right. So it sounds like the facilitation of the tapping is key. And
Yes.
that's why it's
Absolutely.
important to have a guide such as yourself that's
Yeah. And
picking out those beliefs, because you don't always hear them yourself.
well, and I think I know that my strength in this is that I'm a highly detailed person, and that's why I did so well in my salon, because I was working with, little
Yeah.
detail and stuff. And I know that's what I bring to my practice, because I can hear someone say 5 different feelings or situations, and I can, pull it apart very quickly and say, you have to tap on this, and you have to tap this way, you have to meditate on this, you da 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 da. And they're like, oh my God, because sometimes they're just used to being so overwhelmed, they can't break it
Mhm.
down.
Yeah.
I love, and they love that they have access to me in between their sessions, because that's where I help them really find all of these connections. And
Ah,
that's where the work shifts so much faster.
interesting. So, what I'm hearing is it's more of a long-term, process.
It depends
That,
on the client, if
okay.
someone has done a lot of work and they really just have one situation, it could be 5 sessions or something that we do
Right.
together, and it
Okay.
can work it out, but if someone has not done a lot of work, but this is the avenue that they want to go instead of regular talk therapy, it could be 6 months. I've worked with people over a year,
Oh,
you know?
wow. Wow.
Mhm.
Awesome. So, I love that you said that you started your journey with EFT at Kripalu,
Mhm.
and now you are a presenter and instructor over there.
I
So,
am.
congratulations on that. That's a pretty big step.
Yeah, 7 years later, I
Yes.
was there
Here
a
you
few weeks
are.
ago teaching a tapping program.
Yeah.
It was surreal. It
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
That is amazing. Congratulations on that. So, Meryl, if people want to learn more about you and your work, where is the best way for them to find that information?
Yeah, everything is under my name. So my website, merylhayton.com, Facebook, Meryl Hayton, Instagram, Meryl Hayton, YouTube, Meryl Hayton. Um, and if you're in New Jersey, I teach in-person workshops in Morris County, Passaic County, and Monmouth County, typically.
Awesome.
And I have a few coming up. And I'm usually posting Facebook events for all of the programs. Um, and I have some self-study programs that are on my website. If you subscribe to my email list to keep up on what I'm doing, and I usually send out a little newsletter, with little inspiration, you will get some freebies. I have a 7-day tapping series that helps you to release doubt and feelings of not enough so that you reach your full potential. And I have a monthly membership that is starting February 13th.
Yay.
That's $49 a month. And we are meeting the second Tuesday of every month from 7 to 8:30. This is Eastern Standard Time. And you get, it will be group healing and clearing. I have my signature process is called the emotional clearing method. And we go through the method on a theme. And there will definitely be time for personalized guidance and help and support and healing and clearing, where the group will help do it for a person. And then I have a private Facebook group that I created just for members only. So there's access to me all month long.
Wow. Wow. Lots of stuff.
Lots.
Fantastic. Yeah.
And then you can work with me privately.
Yeah. Amazing. So I just want to say again for our listeners that Meryl Hayton, and Hayton is HAYTON.com, Her information, bio, and all of her links are in the show notes. But in case you're listening to this on audio or in your car, don't go write it down. You can just come back to this or, reach out to us if for any reason you can't remember who it was. We are always happy to give Meryl's information out. Well, Meryl, thank you so much for being a part of the podcast today and sharing your great gifts with us.
Thank you for having me. You're welcome.
You are wonderful. Thank you. And thank you, listeners, for being a part of our podcast today. This is sponsored by the Natural Life Business Partnership and the Soul Professional Society. If you'd love to learn more about membership there, you can go to soulprofessional.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week. Bye everyone.